is now the Italian North American champion.
Italian.
Add that in there.
And we Italians like to party.
Yeah, we are.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, this is the Turnbuckle King here. We here at the Red Carpet Ring. We are talking about WWE NXT Results Orton versus Evans Tag Team Title Match. We're talking about the recent episode of NXT on the new CW network that they on. You guys get the likes of as we come into the ring. We're going to talk about a good one. Now, this live's a little bit different because we did have, which I cover every week, which is NXT versus AEW Dynamite. However, it did become a reality just for this one week out the year with Title Match Tuesday, as I mentioned, versus AEW on Tuesday. Now, since that was on the same night as NXT, I will cover that as well. And with that being said, that will be the bonus round. That will be the bonus round of this stream. Will be the NXT versus AEW Tuesday night battle, who won. And also we have a subtopic. We'll talk about Roxanne and Cora Jade versus Stephanie Vaquer and Julia. A match that's set up, and then we'll talk about a current topic as well. So let's get into it. We're going to discuss that while we in the ring. So this is going to be not like a usual stream, so it'll be a lot of stuff covered here on this one, more than usual. Let's see who came in. Mr. Goodberry Reaction, salute to you. Figure 4 TV, salute to you. So you guys know how I do in here. For those you don't know, before we start to talk about this show of NXT, let's do that one simple task that I always ask you guys to do. You guys know where I'm going to next. Let's do that right now before we begin and start this whole stream.
Not real.
Trust me.
But that doesn't do anything, man.
All right. Now you guys that don't tap and hit the like in here. We are going to go over the NXT match card as advertised. Let's go and see what that was. We have the main event, Randy Orton versus Javon Evans. 101 first time ever. First time Randy Orton has been a televised NXT match. He's been on NXT before, but not a televised match. Then we have Cora Jade and Roxanne. They're going to have a segment. We have a 6-woman tag of Kalani, Bianca, and Jade versus Fatal Influence. And then we have Trick Williams, the brand new NXT champion. He has a segment. So it's going to definitely be interesting to see how this show went down. Let's kick it off with the show. Speaking of which, Trick Williams, he came out. He had a segment, was interrupted by Wesley and Jey Uso. Trick Williams came out and he talked about how he is the brand new NXT champion in the match last night. We know we had that match versus Ethan Page in Chicago, celebrating the debut on the CW network, brand new title designs, and Chicago's own CM Punk, the special guest referee. Great match, great setup. It went down exactly as I thought it would go, and it's great. I knew Trick would win. And he calls himself, speaking of which, two-time Trick Willie. However, he was interrupted by Wesley. Now, Wesley, who also won last week in his Chicago Street fight against former tag team partner, which is Zachary Wentz of the Rascals, or MSK, he also said that, I won just like you did. However, he said now that he's done with Zachary Wentz, he wants to move on and he wants to challenge for the NXT championship. Now, he said this too because, if he does win the NXT championship from Trick, he said he will become a Triple Crown champion on NXT because Wesley has held every championship there is to held on NXT for the men's division. He's held the North American Championship. He's been a tag team champion. He's never held the NXT championship. However, as him and Trick were talking about it, and then Wesley, he was cooking. He said, I'll leave you no dust like your partner did. He talking about Carmelo Hayes. He was cooking. And then Trick was cooking too. Trick said anybody said that, and they ended up getting that work. But it was I like the segment, but it was interrupted by Jay Uso, and I knew he was coming because if you guys check out that interview I did on the backstage segment on my Raw review that I did earlier today, he said that he would be at NXT. So it wasn't a surprise to me. But he came out. There was no match. He didn't wrestle nothing. He talked to Trick, high five. It was pretty much a pop, and that St. Louis crowd did pop for Jay Uso and NXT. Trick Williams said, you got the Intercontinental Champion here, the NXT Champion here. All the crowd was saying was, "Whoop that Trick, yeet! Whoop that Trick, yeet! Whoop that Trick, yeet!" Speaking of yeet, that's how the crowd was, and we'll say it here as well.
Yeet.
So he said yeet, and that was it. That was the end of that segment. We'll get more back to the whole Wesley Trick Williams thing, but that was the first. That was kick off the show. Let's go to the next part of the show, shall we? Our first match of the night was a 6-woman tag, and that tag was Jade, Bianca, the tag team champions, and the women's North American champion Kalani Jordan versus Fatal Influence. It was actually a good match. This was not bad. Not a bad match at all. It was a very solid match. It was great teamwork by not just Bianca and Jade, but Kalani Jordan as well. And literally Fatal Influence, man, looked good, but definitely was a good look. It was Jade and Bianca's first match together on NXT. I know Bianca came from NXT, but Jade, however, has not been on NXT before. It's her first match on NXT. We can clearly say that. Now, she came on NXT last week, but she showed up at NXT Arena, but she did not have a match. She had a match this week. And the Fatal Influence, the team of Jasmine Nix, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Bianca, Kalani, and Jade all won the match. So it was a solid match, though. Let's get on to the next part of the show. Next matchup. Well, next segment, excuse me. All right, this is the Cora, Jade, and Roxanne. Now, they came out and talked, and Cora says she is impressed with the new profile. Roxanne Perez says she always knew she had it in her. She says she always knew that she has what it takes to become the NXT Women's Champion. And she said this woman always wants you to become. So we are seeing a reunited of Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. As you guys do know, if you follow NXT, or if you don't know, these two previously were NXT Tag Team Champions in the past before Cora turned on Roxanne. However, now they came out and talked and stuff, and Cora said exactly what I thought she would say. She said she's been for a long time. You guys forgot about me. She wasn't going to let somebody like Julia waltz in here and just get a title shot. I said that before, that Julia was not going to win the Women's NXT Championship. I said that, and I said that's why. It didn't make any sense. So I knew that would happen. But Cora came out. She did a thing. Cora got a nice aura to her, as they call it. And her and Roxanne just smiling. Now, these two are friends in real life. However, Julia came out. She was going to attack Roxanne Cora, but she said she was not going to come along. And it was announced, of course, earlier backstage that she had a little friend named Stephanie Valkyrie. She makes her NXT debut inside the ring. They came out. They attacked Cora. They attacked Roxanne. Then those two stood tall, and they were fighting over NXT Women's Championship. Another good segment of the show. Very good segment, I might add. I like the segment here. People can say what they want. Also, let me go back to after this. Now, after this match here of Bianca and Jay winning, they were challenged, however, backstage by Last Legend and Jakar Jackson. So on SmackDown this Friday, it will be Bianca and Jay defending the Women's Tag Team Championships against the team of Metaphor, Lash Legend, and Jakar Jackson, because Jakar was saying, her and Lash want to shot the belts. They called their shot. And Bianca said, if you wanted the championships, you will have to come to us. We will not come to you. So that will be on SmackDown. Just to notate that, and I'll mention it again. But let's get back to Cora Jade and Roxanne. These two, we see it here. It's going to be a tag team match. I'm going to get more into this. I'm going to talk more about this, but that's where we see where this is going, and I'll get more into that. Next part of the show, we had here a championship match. It was the North American Championship match. Oba Femi, who is the longest reigning champion at 272 days, and he went off against Tony D'Angelo. Now, this is the second time these two have faced each other. They previously faced each other at NXT No Mercy, and when Tony D was unsuccessful into gaining the North American Championship. However, that was the first go round. This round was different, and Tony D, like last time, was hanging in there with Oba Femi. They was hanging in there. They did their thing. I like Tony D. Tony D is a character. He's the Don, he's the Don of NXT. That's his character. He's been previously held the NXT Heritage Cup and the NXT Tag Team Championships, along with Channing Stacks, who's also part of the family. It's amazing how the family has grown, because when I saw the family, it was just Stacks and Tony D. Then you had Adriana Rizzo, and then I keep forgetting the other guy's name that was just addition. The family is growing, and it's definitely stable. Meanwhile, this match here was good. When the match first kicked off, Oba slapped Tony D, and then Tony D flinched, and I was like, "What?" And I knew then they were selling into that to get Tony D to overcome his fear. They were saying for weeks he fears Oba Femi, but they played off that very well, very well. I gotta give that a
Yeet.
That was good storytelling between Oba Femi and Tony D. So he slapped him, he flinched. But one thing I will say, Tony D has pushed Oba he pushed Oba Femi to the limit. I loved how these two push each other. Now, I liked even the fact that even Tony D had an opportunity to cheat during the match. Channing Stacks offered Tony D a crowbar while the ref wasn't looking, and Don said, "I'm not doing that." And then I like how Oba Femi knocked down Adriana Rizzo outside the ref, and that just lit a fire under Tony D, and that's where he came running. He did not like the fact she was touched alongside the rest of the stable. He just was unleashed. Then he suplexed Oba Femi outside. And then I know Oba Femi, he had Tony Angelo with sit out choke slam for a 2 count, near fall. And then everyone kept saying this is awesome. And then another thing, Tony D'Angelo, he got Oba Femi with a spine buster through the announce table. Oh man. Underdog, and I knew that at some given point he was going to win, and he did do that. Tony D showed out. He wouldn't be my first choice to be Trick, but the way they built him, it makes sense why. And he pulled off the biggest upset, and he beat Oba Femi, and he is your brand new NXT North American champion, Tony D'Angelo, the Don of NXT. And that's really pushing Tony D. Now remember, Tony D earlier this year competed for the NXT Championship at Stand Deliver versus then champion Ilya Dragunov. And like I said, he held other championships, but now he's held the North American Championship. This is a big moment for Tony D's career, biggest upset. Now people may think since Oba Femi, I know he had the undefeated streak, they did not capitalize by acknowledging that. I get that, but it does not make him look weak by he losing. Oba Femi could still stay hot. He still can stay relevant. Let's not get that twisted. The ruler, I would say right now, the ruler, Oba Femi, will be the biggest challenge towards Trick Williams' NXT Championship run. Figure Four and I talked about it. He actually said it first before me, and I agree. He will be the one to defeat Trick because there's nothing else for him to accomplish as a singles competitor besides the NXT Championship. And that's exactly what he's going to go for next. But until then, they're going to really book him. Oba should have won. Noah, salute to you. I mean, what else was Oba going to do? He held the belt for 272 days. He defeated Tony D before. He defeated Wesley. He defeated Dragon Lee to win the championship. He defeated, lots of people. He beat Hammerstone from TNA. I mean, what else was he going to do with this belt? If Oba Femi had kept this belt a little bit longer, be honest, I think he would have got grown stale. And then the fans would have got tired of it and couldn't wait for him to lose it. I mean, honestly, tell me when I'm telling lies.
I'm tired of being nice. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah, so I think it was a great call. You know? By the way, how do we get mod? You got to tune into my shows. You got to just like, you got to be subscribed for one. If you're not already, you may be. Just say in general, like the content, the live streams, the videos, or you could support by sending a super chat, cash app, as you see on the banner at the top of the screen. Support multiple ways, and when I mean streams and videos, I don't mean just one or two. I mean I got to see you for a good at least 50% of the time when I go live or when I do videos or streams. So if you do that, if I see 50% of the time, liking and subscribe, comment, and being active in the chat, or you send a super chat, then you can become a mod, Noah. But that's how you become on this channel. Good question though. Figure Four said, "Is this why they never really mentioned being undefeated?" I would say so. And then two, yeah, remember as well, they go off the whole Gunther being undefeated. When I think of undefeated, they really run off Gunther's name. Maybe they don't want to devalue Gunther's, well, especially as he's the world heavyweight champion right now. So that could be a thing too. But this was a good match, very underrated match, if not the best match of the night. Some may say it's underrated. I think it was the best match of the night. I like how this match went down. This does not make Oba look weak at all, and I agree with that. But this was a very good match. And he gets a super chant for that.
Yeet, delete, yes, we believe in Joe Hendry. Suck it. Woo! What? Yeah.
So it was a good match. I love the way they did this match. Great work by Shawn Michaels and the rest of NXT Creative and Triple H as well. We know Triple H is still involved. But let's get on to the main event of the show. Now, well, we got one more part of the show. Excuse me. We have a tag team title match. Fraxium, I don't like that name, by the way. That's what they call them. Which is the team of Nathan Frazier and Axiom. They're going to defend the NXT tag team belts against A-Town Down Under, which is the team of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. And we know this has been going on for quite some time. Now, this match here, this was, of course, Nathan and Axiom. They always bring it. It was another good, solid match. I like how these two was working well with each other. We even saw the whole friction between Austin and Grayson. We saw a little friction there. They tried to do their best to keep it together, but it was Nathan Frazier that got the pinfall for his team. And they are still, yes, the NXT Tag Team Champions, Nathan Frazier, Axiom, or Fraxium. So that's how that is going down. And they will still keep the belts. Now, I'm pretty sure that this team is going to split up, and I'm talking about Austin Theory and Grayson. They've been teasing this for quite a while. Now, when they go back to SmackDown Friday, maybe they'll be split then or maybe after. But they really do need to get rid of the split. But this was a good match, and we knew they was not going to beat Nathan Fraxium. We knew they weren't going to beat those guys. Let's be honest here. That was not going to go down like that. Not at all, not even a little bit. But let's get on to the main event of the show, shall we? Now, this is Randy Orton, the Viper, versus the young OG, as they call him, Javon Evans. So, and of course, we had the Sexy Red concert. Before that, Sexy Red was on NXT, as she was on Raw the night before NXT. So these two, oh man, just amazing. I know they had a couple hiccups in the match, a couple botches there. I like how Javon went on the top rope and he did a cutter on Randy Orton. I like how Javon just took risk after risk. Sometimes it worked out for him, sometimes it didn't. I know before Randy did the slam on top of the announce table, Javon reversed it. Then Randy caught him again a few times. It was good. Javon was putting up a good fight against Randy Orton. I mean, to have a match against Randy Orton as Javon Evans, I know Javon was making sure he did not mess up and keep himself together, which he did. He pushed Randy Orton, and if you follow NXT, you guys already know that Javon Evans is a very, very talented guy, and he's definitely he's like the second coming of a Ricochet, as well as Wesley, and he definitely has a bright future ahead of him. And I spoke about him a while back. This is back when he was in the four-way match competing for the NXT title. So we're talking about Heatwave this past summer. Javon's been phenomenal. I remember he debuted on NXT. He's bad. He's definitely the future. He pushed Randy to his limit, but you know, Randy coming with the RKO, and it was over 1, 2, 3. But it was pretty much a show of respect from both ends. Randy respects Javon. Javon respects Randy. Randy raises Javon's hand in the air. I know Javon said he felt bad because he messed up, one of the botches. He said, "I'm sorry, Randy," and Randy said, "You're good." He's one of, it's great. It's not that often every day that someone gets the chance to have a one-on-one match against Randy Orton. Randy Orton, not just anybody. He's a future Hall of Famer, 14-time world champion. I mean, the man's main evented so many PLEs, pay-per-views. I think he has he surpassed Kane for the most PLE pay-per-view appearances. I mean, that's an honor to go have a match against him, and that's exactly what Javon did in this match. He treated this as an honor, but he would not back down from Randy. And Randy got the win, and Randy's family was in the crowd. Kim Orton and his kids. I know Randy was talking to Sexy Red backstage. They both St. Louis, Missouri natives, and he said his kids like Sexy Red. But Javon, it definitely much respect there. And that's all for NXT. We're talking about the results of Orton versus Javon Evans, the main event. And the rating, I will give this NXT here a 4.5 out of 5. Very good show. Almost duplicated what they did last week, which was in Chicago of the NXT debut on the CW network. But they did their thing. Great episode. However, we got to go over what went wrong with NXT despite the rating. We will do that in just a second. Now, what went wrong with NXT? For those who don't know, I normally go over what went wrong with the show. What are things I did not like about this particular episode, whether it's a PLE or a weekly show? I always highlight what I didn't like about the show, what could be done better, or what wasn't done enough of what the lack of. Let's start off with the RKO was botched between Randy and Javon. That's what Javon was saying when he said he apologized for that. There was a little botch. Randy Orton tried to catch the arc in the air for RKO. Javon felt like he didn't jump far enough, and Randy didn't think he'd catch it quick enough. But it was a botch there, but still a great match. Still great performance by Randy and Javon. Now, I did say Tony D and Obai was the best match. They kind of neck and neck. Obai and Tony D in the main event, they kind of neck and neck. They both were great matches. But I will say that this was a great setup with these two. It's like a passing of the torch, similar to how, if you guys remember the Undertaker back in 2002 when he was the last time he held the WWE Championship. He right before he went babyface, he fought Jeff Hardy in the ladder match on Raw. Remember how Jeff Hardy was giving it to Undertaker, but Undertaker still caught him. He defeated him, retained his title, and he raised Jeff Hardy head in the air, passing the torch, show of respect. That's kind of how this moment was with Randy and Javon. So, like I say, great moment, just a little botch there, but still a great part. Even though it's a botch, I still got to put it on the list. You guys know how I do here.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So, yes, that was unfortunately made the list, but still a great match. Now, let's go over another part. That is very questionable. It needed to happen. I'm just concerned what they're gonna do with him next. This next thing I did not like. I don't like. Hopefully they execute it right. And what I'm talking about is I'm talking about Femi. Now, since Femi's lost the NXT North American Championship, what's next for him since he lost the title? What's the next move for Femi? Where does he go from here now that Tony D's champion? Because you got to have something for Femi to do. I don't think Femi's taking any time off. Now, one thing we can say, I know everyone, I said it earlier, he'll compete for the NXT title, but as we can see, the NXT title picture is full. We have Wesley challenging for the belt. We have Ethan Page challenging for his belt back. Now, we know that a match was made. They mentioned this. A match was made that next week it will be a one-on-one match. Ethan Page versus Wesley for the number one contendership. Whoever wins will go on to face Trick Williams. But it's still it may be a full picture. Somehow, some way, with that match next week of Wesley and Ethan, it's somehow going to end up being a triple threat. I don't know why I got that feeling. Or it could just be Wesley winning and facing one-on-one. But I feel like Trick is going to have a line of competitors. And I think it'll be too early for Obi to challenge Trick for the title since he just lost the North American title. Let him get in some feuds first. Let him do some things before he goes for the NXT title. I hope they don't rush this soon. This is kind of precaution, but I don't think they're going to do that. They're going to immediately put him in the NXT title picture. If that's the case, I don't like it. And since I don't like it, I'm predicting it right now. It goes on the list already.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So I think that's what they're going to do with Femi. I think it's a little premature, but that's my opinion on that whole situation. That's my opinion. I think that's what they're going to do with him. I could be wrong, but then again, I could be right too. Let's go over the next part that I did not like. It's so obvious that 8-Time Down Under is splitting after losing tag team title match. I kind of touched on this already. I said that the team of 8-Time Down Under, they was going to split up. And they also was going to not win this title match against Fraxium. And it's so obvious that that's where this is headed. It won't be a shocker anymore. Really, it's not going to be a shocker. So I'm just waiting for whenever they're going to pull the plug on this thing. And with that being said, that goes on the list too.
Yeet. What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So it goes on the list for that. I don't think what's the next move going to happen between these two. Let's be honest here. 8-Time Down Under, it's a wrap for them. It's a wrap for them. Those are the three things I saw went wrong with NXT. Like I said, great rating. Now we're going to get into two things. We'll cover a subtopic and some current news. We'll cover that shortly. But like I said, NXT, they did their thing. I have no problem of how the show was constructed. Very well deserved. Great planning, I might add. But we're gonna see what they're gonna do next week as we do head off into I don't know what city they're gonna be in next week, but it'll be the third episode of NXT on CW. Definitely the third one. We'll see how they're gonna go down. But like I said, there's a couple more things I want to task onto because we're gonna talk about current event stuff going on in a subtopic. Also, we'll talk about Julia standing back here in the tag team match. So we'll talk about the tag team title first. Then we'll go over some current news that's going on in the wrestling world that was announced and it's NXT related. So let's do that right now. Let's get into that. Now, normally this is content I put on the pink square circle. This is my women's female channel. This is more related to this, but I'm gonna talk about on here as well. And what I'm gonna talk about here specifically, I am going to talk about it's gonna be, which I believe is gonna be a setup. It's going to be Stephanie Valkyr arrives. Stephanie Valkyr. Stephanie Valkyr arrives on WNXT. Backs up Julie against Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. Now let's get into that, and we're gonna talk more about this right now. So these four, I believe, is going to have a tag team match. This is going to be a Halloween Havoc. And it's going to be these four, like I said before. I believe it's going to be a tag team match. Roxanne's belt will not be on the line. She's not going to defend it because we have to remember this whole thing was a setup. Now, we know that they went on NXT. This is how the whole thing started. Cora Jade talked about on NXT how she screwed Julia out the NXT Women's Championship as Julia was getting close to defeat Roxanne. And, Cora was, she was under a hoodie. No one recognized her at first. And Cora cut the promo stating earlier that night in NXT. She said how she's been in for a while, how everyone forgot about the women's division and how, of course, the roster stacked. But, Julia, you basically walked in, got a title shot after having one match, and you thought you was going to win, and Cora Jade was not going to let that happen. Now, since she cost Julia the championship, as I predicted, I said this before, I believe now that Cora Jade and Roxanne, since those two, Roxanne and Cora, are reunited, they have realigned themselves with each other, they can't just gang up on Julia 2-on-1. She's going to need some backup. And this is where Stephanie comes in. Stephanie comes in. She already made an appearance on the last episode of NXT on the USA Network. But now she's going to team up with her old rival and Julia. And they're going to take on these two. And this will set up this match, which I believe will be for Halloween Havoc. That's what's going to set up this whole match with these two. Because let's be honest, both of these teams have history with one another. We know the whole story between Cora Jade and Roxanne. These two were NXT Women's Tag Team Champions when the champions were active. And, they were champions until Cora turned on Roxanne, leaving her high and dry, even costing them the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships on the episode of NXT. They had a little rivalry. Then they went their separate ways. It's crazy as Roxanne is the one that is the NXT Women's Champion now. And Cora Jade, she was out for a while, injured. Now she's behind Roxanne. But she's impressed of how Roxanne and the woman that she's becoming, she stated in the promo. She's already stated that. But this is what's going to set up this the whole match here. Because let's be honest, Roxanne retained the title because of Cora. And I said that had Cora not gotten involved, she would not be standing here as champion. I said that before. There was no way that was even going to happen. It wasn't even possible. But nonetheless, Roxanne is still the champion. And she's a great champion too. I'm not taking nothing away from Roxanne. I've given Roxanne her props before. That's how that's going to be. But you got to call a spade here. You just have to. But like I said, these four women are going to brawl. Now, it's not no formal announcement yet, but it will be. Because Roxanne needs a break from defending the title. She's going to need a little break from defending the belt because she's done a great job being the women's NXT champion. She's had the title since 6 months now. But we know that her and Cora have to get back being on the same page. So we're gonna see these four battle it out. And not just a history of Cora and Roxanne, we know they have a history. But we gotta remember it's not just those two. Stephanie and Julia also have history. We have to remember that as two. These two have history. Now, I talked about this on the Pink Square Circle. I talked about how these two faced off against each other in Stardom. I talked about how Stephanie defeated Julia for the New Japan Women's Strong Championship. The championship, a brand new championship that was also held by Lil Nightingale, the inaugural champion, Julia, Stanley Valker, and now held by Mercedes Moné, who's currently holding the TBS Championship in AEW. So I talked about that. These two had a match. So it's going to be basically two rivals teaming up, and they're going to reunite or unite. And they all have enemies. Julia has enemies in Cora and Roxanne. Now already Roxanne, now Cora, and then Stephanie is teaming up with Julia to take on these two. So that's the thing. This is going to be a match set up at Halloween Havoc. This will be a very good match set up between these four. I see a great match between these two. I don't see it being a main event. It could be an opener. It could be a number of things. But I will not rule out that this is going to be one of the top feuds. Now, will it be a long-term thing between these four? No, that would not be the case. No, not at all. I will say that it's going to come down to these four going to have to really put they all in. And also will say as well that you can expect one of these tag team partners are going to turn on each other. Either Stephanie turns on Julia. I don't think Roxanne and Cora was flipping on each other just yet as of now, because they really they had chemistry, really do have a long past. But I do see somehow maybe Julia is flipped on by Stephanie. Maybe. Or maybe it will come down to Delta. Delta is debuting at Halloween Havoc. Maybe she interferes. Now, since she looked like she's a heel, keep an eye for Delta. She may even attack Stephanie and Julia and maybe cost them the match, and maybe she align herself not with Roxanne Cora, just align herself on her own, saying she got beef with anybody, just a pure stand-off heel by herself. But I do see that being the case between these four women, and I think that's how they're going to set it up, because we do have Halloween Havoc October 27th, which is a few weeks away. And that's how this match will be set up. It's going to be Julia, Stephanie Valker, versus Cora and Roxanne. I think it's a great setup that these women are going to have against one another. I wouldn't see why not. So this would be a great setup with these four. I'm seeing some good tag team action of Cora and Roxanne. Their team up had good tag team moves. The fans will remember it. But I'll see Julia and Stephanie also shutting it down as well. But I believe that with the whole, now that Julia's it's not the NXT Women's Champ, she got screwed by a return of Cora Jade. This will lead to an NXT Halloween Havoc match of Cora, Jade, and Roxanne teaming up against Stephanie and Julia. That's how I see that going down. You guys let me know what you think of that. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a great setup. It'll be definitely be good. So you guys check out on Pink Square Circle. Check out the content there. Great content there, guys. Check that out because it's definitely going to be a storm to say the least when it comes to that channel and the content there. So definitely gonna be making some noise on at Halloween Havoc. All right, now we got some more current news going on. That was Pink Square Circle. If you want to check more content like that, come to Pink Square Circle. Check that out. Now, with that being said, we are going to talk more about current events going on in the world of wrestling today. Let's talk more about it. Now, the current event here is this was announced earlier today. Well, actually, a few hours ago. I think a few hours ago, actually. So, with that being said, thing that happened here, the whole situation is it says that it was an incident at the NXT hotel in St. Louis, Missouri. And it said a man was allegedly caught trying to take photos of feet of the female talent as they made their way through the hotel. It was ejected not once but twice from location. Oh man, what is wrong with you fans? I mean, what's wrong with you harassing people, man? I mean, I'm not trying to laugh at the what's happened. I'm just laughing at the guy that did it. What's wrong with him? So this happened at right after the show. They said that he was at the hotel trying to get pictures and he was ejected. This is why women feel uncomfortable around the fans. This is why the fans cannot take pictures with women like that or can't even come close in a certain range because of guys like you. So this was reported earlier on Russell Ops on X. Salute to them. But yeah, they this is wild though. Why are you doing that to women? Why? Why are they doing that? That's real creepy. And you need to get some help. You really need to get some help. Because something's wrong with you acting like that. Why are you taking pictures of women's feet like that and then you got ejected twice? What is wrong with you, man? I mean, why are you let these women do their things in peace? I mean, you really playing yourself out here doing that. You really make yourself a fool.
What you need to do is stop playing. You might have all these crusty, dusty musties tricked, but you ain't tricking us.
They know what you're trying to do out there. I don't know why you're trying to play them. I mean, seriously, I heard this condition that people have when they really lose it, and I think it's called HPD. And I think some of you wrestling fans may have HPD, histrionic personality disorder, and I think you guys are coming down a clear case of that. Because why are you taking your phone, taking pictures of women's feet all day? Were you trying to sell them or something on eBay? You trying to put them on Instagram or X? Or what you trying to do with them pictures? Oh, I'm sorry, maybe you trying to lust over them because you guys are sick in the head. You guys got HPD. Salute to Mr. Goodbread. You guys have HPD. Something wrong with you guys. Something wrong with you guys. Seriously. That's terrible. This is why women, it's guys like you that give the honest fans like myself and many others across the world a bad name. That's why they look at fans all weird and sideways, because of guys like you. Man, people need to get some help for real. What's wrong with these people? DJ, salute to you. Said that's awful, bro. It is awful. It's pathetic. take a picture of women's feet because now I get it now. Carmen Petrovic, she was not on this NXT episode this week or last week. When she takes pictures, she covers up her feet, and I think I know why. Because of creepy guys like you call backstage, try to take photos. I mean, how do you feel? He got the phone right at their feet. I mean, come on, bro, you crazy, man. But yeah, definitely HPD. They have a problem with this. Definitely have an issue with this whole situation. You need to get some help. You need mental help. You really, really do. And whoever this man is that was ejected, please take care of yourself mentally before things get really, really bad for you. And it gets to the point you have to serve time for that. And if you think that just because you got ejected, you go about your business and it's okay, and you go back to your regular doing and nothing's wrong with you, no. No, you need to change what you're doing because that's not going to work. Clearly not. So that's just terrible. I don't know why people do what they do. And Chelsea Green, she came out NXT a couple weeks ago. She said the fans are creepy, and she was right. Creepy guys like him trying to take pictures of every woman's feet over there. So I don't know. We got a weird fetish, man. You don't take pictures of women's feet like that. I remember an episode of Steve Harvey Show, if you guys remember, take it back. It was the Regina Greer, the principal. She dated a guy that liked her, and the guy only liked her because he liked her feet. He was always trying to buy her shoes, take a picture of her feet. He was creepy, and that's what this clown reminds me of right now. He remind me of that dude. But you got problems though, bro. Get it together. Get to some help, please. But that is the current event news going on. That was about incident reportedly earlier today. So just said that these people cannot be, they can't even enjoy their own lives in peace. They can't, just do their regular thing, and they get harassed by this fool. But other than that, though, now we have covered a lot here. However, we're going to get to the bonus round soon. And we covered a lot. Now, this is the end of the full round one. We talked about the NXT results. Randy Orton versus Javon Evans in the main event. Tag team title match. We had a subtopic. We had current event. Now we're going to get to the bonus round, guys. So we're going to get to that in a second. If you're not, sorry. Unfortunately, we got to say about X. Catch more, come to YouTube. We'll stay on other platforms. But we're going to talk about it. And the bonus round, as we already know, yes, it's going to be about, yes, NXT and AEW. So give me a couple moments. We'll get this together. We will get that started. All right, we are here at the bonus round, guys. We're going to talk about something I normally talk about Thursday or mostly Fridays. I talk about the battle between NXT versus AEW. This week was different. They both were on the same night. You know, AEW does this once a year due to the MLB playoffs on TBS. So there was a Title Night Tuesday, whatever they call it. And they went on the same night as CW. Now, they went on like last year, coming on the same time. AEW did come on 1 hour after NXT, just to let you guys know. That is true. They did not come on simultaneously. It was AEW came on after NXT was first. But we don't go over the viewership. The numbers just came in maybe a few hours ago. We're going over the Tuesday Night War. So before we begin, guys, you already know what I'm about to have you guys do before we begin.
Not real.
Trust me.
But that doesn't do anything, man.
All right, so we are going to talk about Tuesday Night War. Let's talk about these numbers here, guys. And the question is, who won the Tuesday Night War? And we're talking about AEW versus NXT. Now, we'll go, since NXT did come on first, we'll normally come on Tuesday anyway and AEW Wednesday. Always go over NXT numbers first, then AEW after. So we'll go over the viewership for NXT, and this is for yesterday's episode of October 8th. Let's see what happened with that. Now we got the viewership. It came in at a whopping 874,000. And it says right here in this report, NXT ratings report viewership and demo ratings for week 2 on the CW against Dynamite plus 3-day and 7-day boost data. Let's see what else this article says. Let's see. It says Tuesday night episode of NXT of the CW network broadcast 874,000 compared to the 895,000 last week. And it was against the vice presidential debate in the 620,000 week. Before that, it was the last week on USA Network. Now, it says the second hour, as I stated earlier, went up against the AEW Dynamite's first hour, as Dynamite aired a night early than usual and started an hour later than usual. NXT featured Randy Orton as special attraction also. So last year, now we know the Tuesday Night War last year did not end too well for AEW. Last year, NXT pulled in 921,000. So little under 1 million viewers. And this is the episode that had Undertaker, we chokeslam Braun Breaker when he was on NXT. John Cena made an appearance. Big episode. And Carmelo Hayes was still there. But this is good numbers. 7-8 in the key 18 to 49 demographic. It drew a 0.24 rating compared to 0.26 last week. So NXT is still pulling good numbers. In case you guys don't know, this was the match card. As I stated, this is what was advertised. It's those 4 matches and a few others, by the way. So that's what they have booked. NXT. We know NXT had great matches. I mean, they do not skip a beat, not one time. You tell me when they skip a beat in this episode, because they haven't. We had a brand new North American champion in Tony D'Angelo. Much respect to him. I gave him his props earlier. But definitely he showed out. Everybody showed out and they did their thing. Much respect to them. We had appearance by Jey Uso. Jey Uso made an appearance. Can't forget about that. We also had Randy Orton in the main event, as stated as well. But it's just been nothing but producing great television episodes and PLEs for that matter. And then we had Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair teamed up with Kalani Jordan. Just nothing but great production. I mean, this is not a fluke. They almost pulled in as many viewerships as they did last week. So great work by NXT. I said this before. NXT has the best wrestling on television today. You can't tell me any other show on the planet, which is especially AEW, Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, TNA, Impact, New Japan, MLW, OVW, Raw, even Raw and SmackDown. They can't be beat. I mean, we had a brand new champion, Tony D. We had a great tag team match of Nathan, Frazier, and Axiom. They retained the tag team belts in a great match. And next week, we're going to have Stephanie Barker in her first match against Ren St. Clair of the No Catch Quarter Crew. That is announced. That was announced too. I mean, just nothing but greatness over there in NXT land. NXT is doing their thing. So I gotta give them a yeet for that, for all the work they put in.
Yeet.
So that's great to hear. Now that was the viewership for NXT for October 8th episode. Now, of course, they was not the only wrestling program on Tuesday night. They had a competitor for the second hour, then moving on. So we did have some great moments of this show. These are the highlights here. And of course, let's get on to Tony D winning that championship. Salute to Tony D.
Is now the the Italian North American champion.
Italian.
Add that in there.
And we Italians like to party.
Yeah, we are.
And that's exactly what they're doing. They're partying. They're enjoying themselves. Congratulations to Tony D on winning the North American Championship. Now let's switch gears. Let's move on to AEW, All Elite Wrestling. Let's see what kind of numbers they pulled this week, because we know they put out great work over there. So let's see. The viewership was only a whopping 329,000 viewerships. I'm going to say it again. It's not a fluke. Let's read the article. AEW Dynamite ratings report for October 8th. Fewer than half of the usual viewers find show at later time slot on Tuesday up against NXT. Let's continue on. Also says here that the Dynamite was 329,000 viewers compared to the 680,000 they did the week before. That is less than half. That's terrible. Terrible. It's 702,000 week before that. Why is AEW losing viewership every week? I thought that's putting out great TV, right? You know, you got Ricochet over there now. You got Will Ospreay now. You got Okada now. Every week your ratings are dropping. The proof so there. 2 weeks, 702. Week before that, 680. Now 329. Let's continue on this article. Man, I feel like Wade Barrett. I'm afraid I got some bad news. In addition to airing a day earlier than usual with minimum hype for the prior week, you hype everything else. Why not? The air showed an hour later than its usual time slot and went up against NXT on the CW, which had a 1 hour head start. They should have pulled more views. If that's the case, you didn't even go on the same time as NXT. NXT drew 874,000 in the second week of CW. Let's see what else they have to say. 1 year ago, Dynamite drew 609,000 viewership on Tuesday, Title Night Tuesday. And it says, this is terrible. Viewers drop every week on. I don't get it with y'all. What are y'all doing over there? That hurricane bad. Yeah, they is. Pray. Hopefully those people get better. That's in Florida, in South Carolina too, or North Carolina. Salute to you, Small Production. You said one guy posted he stopped watching AEW because they do the same stuff every week. Yeah. And this is what we think of when AEW, when you do the same stuff every week and you lose viewerships as you've been losing, you know what happens, right? Don't let me tell it. Let him tell it to you.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Terrible. I mean, what are you guys doing over there? I mean, it's almost like you're not even in the wrestling business anymore. It's gotten so bad. 300,000. Man, that's YouTube's get more views than that. Man, it's like you don't even go here no more.
You standing here and you don't even go here.
And that's how AEW is. It's like they don't even go here anymore. The viewerships is just dropping and dropping. 329,000. I left for yesterday. I knew it was coming. Yeah, smart move. Small production, smart move. Yeah, let's go over the highlights of this show. What happened on here? I'm trying to figure out what they do on here. What is they do? Well, it's something that they're missing. I've been saying this, AEW is missing something. And it's clearly that they are at this point. What are y'all doing? I mean, let's see. This is a match card for those who care. This is what they have. They had a tag team title, not a tag team title match, it's a tag match. Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta versus Claudio and Pac. We have Mercedes Moné defend her title night Tuesday. Oh, that's right. They were, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, these some of the matches they do don't even make no sense to me. I'm gonna be honest. Then we had a 4-way women's AEW Women's World Title Elimination match, and they get title shot Wrestle Dream. This was Jamie Hayter, former AEW champion, women's champion, versus Willow Nightingale. First, another former AEW women's champion, Saraya, and another former women's champion, Nyla Rose. Mercedes defended her TNT, a double title match. Whoop-de-doo. TBS title in New Japan Strong Women's title versus Imai Sakura, if I said her name right. We have Commander versus Hologram. Who the hell are these guys? Seriously, who are you people? Who told y'all it was open mic night?
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Who are these people? I don't even know who Hologram is. I don't even know who these people are. I mean, no disrespect to the performers. Who are these people? Anyway, this is the match card. These are the highlights, I guess. I know this is one part in the matchup of the tag match that I mentioned. One part in the match.
I'm telling you guys, I can just tell Brian. Oh, no. Whoa. No, wait a second. Second neutralizer on the floor.
So that was one part. I mean, was Ricochet on this card? Oh, that's right. You didn't use him so much, you get tired of using him. Let's see. And this is a sad part. This match card looks trash. It really's trash. You can't name one match on this card that makes me want to go watch AEW Title Tuesday. Who made what that made me want to watch this, guys? Really? Only 329,000. Let's not forget about that, please. That number should ring an alarm. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, you get more views on YouTube. That's right, exactly, Simone. It's no views. The matches are nothing. The titles never change hands. No, it don't. They put random people Dynamite. They could grab somebody off the street. Hey, you ever wrestled before, kid? Yeah, I thought I wrestled a couple times. You want to come on AEW Dynamite? We'll pay you $50 and get you a slice of pizza. Yeah, I'm all in. That's how they do. If it was Title Tuesday and title defended, this is dumb. It is dumb. The whole concept's dumb. And then you went an hour after NXT and you still couldn't pull no viewers. Like, get it right. What are y'all doing right in AEW? And then to top it all off, to put the icing on the cake on top of all of that with a bogus card like that, real bogus card, bogus matches, no purpose, no story. How do you gain low viewership before a go-home show, which we know that's coming up this weekend, called Wrestle Dream. How do you do that? Again, who told y'all it was open mic night?
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Seriously. This is their show for this weekend, guys. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Wrestle Dream is this Saturday. And this they go on show and they only pulled 329,000 viewers. And this is the card, by the way. This is not a weekly show. This is not a special show. This is actually a pay-per-view that charges $49.99. That's charging $50. Let's look over this card, shall we, while we on here. You have the AEW World Championship, Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. You have Ricochet versus Will Ospreay versus Takasha, whatever the hell his name is, for the AEW International Championship. Then you have Mariah May defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Willow Nightingale. Then you have Jack Perry defending the TNT Championship. I think he had an open challenge. This guy called, I don't even know his name, probably one of the New Japan people that nobody cares about. Takusazori Shibata, we don't, whatever his name is. Anyway, we have the AEW World Tag Team Championship, the Young Sucks. That's right, not Young Bucks, Young Sucks, going against the Private Party. Who is going to want to buy a pay-per-view here looking at this card? I'm not even done with the card, and I'm not even intrigued on buying this. Sad. I feel like Hulk Hogan right now.
No, brother, it doesn't work for me right now, you know.
This is trash. This card is trash. This card is horrible. I'm not even done yet. I read 5 matches because you know they do like 10, 12 matches, and I'm already irritated. I'm already starting to get a headache. What kind of booking is this? I mean, this is how kids will book wrestling, and this is a grown man who owns a company books like this. I mean, what are you doing, Tony Khan? Really, what are you doing? Let me continue on. Let me take a deep breath again. Where was I? Oh, yeah. We have Mark Briscoe defending ROH World Championship against Chris Jericho. Why do we have a non-AEW championship defended on an AEW pay-per-view? Can anybody answer that question for me? Why? Why? That title doesn't go here.
You standing here and you don't even go here.
Why is the ROH title defended on the AEW pay-per-view? Why can't the ROH title be defended on an ROH pay-per-view? What's it called? That dismember, whatever that crap you all call your pay-per-views. It sucks anyway. Why? Why do we have a why is this being defended? Why is it being Let me read off the rest of this match card before I lose my mind. Because that's what watching AEW does, make you lose your mind. Hologram goes to 2 out of 3 falls against the Beast Mortals. The Beast Mortals, he wrestled Ricochet a few weeks ago. 2 out of 3 falls for what? When did the first fall start? When does rivalry start again? Y'all just make matches out of anywhere, don't you? Let's continue on. Darby Allin goes 1-on-1 against Brody King. Nobody cares. Next, Swerve Strickland returns. Okay. Next, Hangman Adam Page versus Jay White. I'm still here, guys. Give me a second. Trying to process this garbage. I'm trying to process this crappy card. And they charge $50 for this. They charge their fans $50 for this crappy pay-per-view card. Did you guys hear how I just had to walk myself through to mention this card? I had to really take my time mentioning this card because it's so lousy. It's lousy. Let's see what you guys got to say. They got nobody to wrestle, so they get randos. Why is hologram wrestling? Who's I don't know who he is. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who is he? He don't even go here. They are streaming on Max next year. Yeah, I talked about that last week. Simone Productions. I hope it's not pricey. That's all I gotta say. It better be worth it. Is Kanasha Taker? Oh man. Yeah, I agree. It is. It really is. It really is. It's terrible. Private Party have been there 5 years and it's still being barely used. Yeah, they must be proud because the last time I checked, I thought Private Party was on Rampage. They're mostly Rampage guys. And now they're fighting for the AEW tag team. Yeah, they suck. I'm sorry, they do. And you are not lying, Samoan. Tell me when I'm
tired of being nice. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
This is pathetic, man. This card alone just brought my energy down. Thank God I talked about everything else before this. It's okay. These are uneducated. Yeah, it's very uneducated. This is kindergarten booking. More like preschool booking. This is preschool booking. Not a single title will change hands. I don't think so. Oh, how you been, man? I've been good. I've been fine. I'm trying to process this whole Russell Dream card. Who wants to see this card? Who wants to see this pay-per-view Saturday? I'd rather watch paint dry on a wall. I'd rather watch paint dry before I watch this crap. Especially at $50 a pop. If you're on Rampage, I'm sorry, your career's over. Yeah, exactly. Stop charging so much for these trash pay-per-views. Yeah, these pay-per-views need to be, I'm gonna be honest, $9.99 or free for that matter. I will not pay for this. I don't want to see Jon Moxley win the AEW title again. How many times we gonna see this, man? He already won the title 3 times. Bryan Danielson is great, but why he gotta wrestle Mox? I didn't even agree with the fact that he defeated Darby Allin for the title shot against Bryan Danielson that Darby Allin won at Rampage. I don't get that either. Make it make sense. They really think we stupid. Like, this is not good booking.
What you need to do is stop playing. You might have all these crusty, dusty musties tricked, but you ain't tricking us.
They're definitely not tricking us. Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. This is terrible. This will be Ricochet. Yeah, probably be his own title shot. Now, I heard reportedly he's going speaking of Ricochet, since you brought him up, Samoan, he's supposed to be doing a tour in Japan. So if that's the case, I don't know if he's going to win the belt, but he's supposed to be doing wrestling in Japan. That's what I've heard. Yeah, he won it enough. It's really 3, but I get what you're saying. He been the title picture too much his majority of his career. I don't want to see him with this belt again. Mox is boring to me now. He was good at first. He's whack now to me. But I'm just saying, this is not how you gain viewership before your go-home show. This is not how you do it. Because it definitely does not. If you're pulling 329 on a go-home show, this pay-per-view views are going to be less than that. Nobody wants to see this crap. Swerve returning, I like Swerve, but who cares? Darby Allin versus Brody King, who cares? Mark Briscoe versus Chris Jericho for a non-AEW championship, again, who cares? The Young Sucks versus Private Party, who cares? I don't even care about none of these matches, honestly. Not even the main event, which would be Bryan Danielson versus Moxley. No one cares. They just don't. This is probably going to go on record. I could almost see Russell Dream having some of the lowest numbers all year for a pay-per-view because no one wants to watch this garbage. Nobody. Japan's saving them. Yeah, definitely. His theme is dumb. Yeah. Tony Khan screwing people. Swerve is mistreated. Yeah. I mean, Swerve did win the AW World title. I heard he just signed a new contract for a very lucrative amount. And he's supposed to be pretty sure get the AW World title again. You ain't even got MJF on this card, I noticed. MJF is not on this card. You got all these other crappy people. At least have a popular person like MJF. I don't see him on this card. Britt Baker, I don't know what's up with her. She's not on this card. This is terrible. And Mercedes Moné, is she on? Yeah, Mercedes Moné not on this card. Like nobody's on this card. Again, trash. This is example of trash. Pure trash. This is no good at all. Jay White's been there. He's never been on top. It's dumb. Yeah, he's supposed to be. Yeah, Jay White. I'm not a big fan of him either. I think he's overrated. And he just came back and he's on the card. Just AEW just got a whole bunch of talent and don't know what to do with them. And it's a clear case of that. With that being said, that's what I'm saying. MJF's not in it. He's not even on the card. He's one of the most popular talents and a former AEW World Champion. But with that being said, as we clearly see, it's pretty much a it's not even a contest. We know who won this war. We already know who won this. I mean, NXT won. They won the viewership. And they won the quality of show. AEW has not won anything. And it shows right there. NXT's the winner. Like I said, they got the best wrestling on TV. Best storylines, best matches, best setup, best everything. And AEW does not have that. They won the viewership. I mean, we got, like I said, 874,000 for NXT. Only AEW 329,000. It's terrible. And NXT's clearly the better show. And I've said this before too. While NXT was on USA Network, I said that NXT was going to catch up to AEW as far as viewership goes because they already had the better quality. And I said to go CW. As we saw, it was getting somewhat close. Remember, they was 40,000 a few weeks ago, right before they went to CW, 40,000 under AW, and now they have blown past them, 874 to 3. This is not even close. And they beat them last week too, 895. I think. What did AEW have last week? Let's check that again. AEW had 680 last week. So they got close. But close isn't good enough. You still lost because your product is trash. It's trash. Clearly it's trash. Clearly they trash. Stop talking about AEW. I'll talk about whatever I want to talk about. Ben Davis. You don't like it, you get bounced. You get up out of here. Because last time I checked, this ain't the channel. And who told you it was open mic night to say that anyway?
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
You don't like the fact I'm talking about your AEW show? It's trash. 329. When you won the 329 and watched this crappy show, Ben Davis, it was trash. Everything's trash about this show. You tell Tony Khan to put out better product on TV every week, and I won't start dogging AEW. How about that? No, they're not better. If you think that's better, then you have HPD. Something's wrong with you. Yes, I knew something was wrong with you. All these red flags. I knew something was wrong with you. Yeah, this mess is trash, man. I mean, AEW needs to do better as a whole. They need to do better. Because this is a terrible show. Terrible product. And the 329,000 explains why they need to do better. They're so good, Ben. Why don't we got 329,000? And I don't want to hear about no playoffs. I don't want to hear about what time they went on TV. I don't want to hear about no presidential debate. I don't want to hear about none of it. It's a number of excuses. You mean who wants to see this crap card? This is why they got 329,000, because you got a BS match card like this for a pay-per-view called Wrestle Dream. That's why. This mess is terrible. Stop. No, I'm gonna keep going. No, I don't care. I'm a hologram piece of. What's so great about hologram? I don't even know who the hell he is. What's so great about him? You can't even answer that question because they suck. Just like the Young Bucks are trash. Everybody, I mean, with the exception of a very few, Bryan Danielson we know is talented. I like Swerve. Jericho is winding down. Moxley's all right. Most of these guys are trash, especially Hangman Adam Page. I think Hangman Adam Page is one of the most overrated people in wrestling. I don't know what's so great about this guy. All he does is that stupid lariat move. Jay White is another overrated wrestler I don't care about. He's another mark from Japan that's nothing but hype but don't do nothing. Trash. These guys are a lot of these guys in AEW are trash. I like Ricochet too, and Will Ospreay. So Ricochet, Will Ospreay, Mox, Bryan Danielson, Jericho, Swerve. That's it. Everybody else is garbage. I'm talking about the men's division. It is trash. These people are not good. Like I said, why only 329,000 viewership? If it's so good, why it can't even pull? How do you go from 680 the week before to 329? Have you noticed that they drop viewership every single week for the past 3 weeks? Good companies don't do that. That's what trash does. And that's what AEW is right now. Trash. They used to be good, but they're trash. What is Ben talking about? Oh, Ben's just an AEW mark. He's an AEW mark. He marks out for AEW because he's hurt. He just a mark for AEW. That's all. I'm a Cody Crybaby, but I'm stating facts. Let's talk about how AEW only got 329,000 viewership. Let's cry about that. The numbers don't lie. Tell me otherwise. See that? Let's show it again. See that, Ben? 329. Cry about that. These are trash. Yeah, it's the AW marks. They always whine. And I don't care. They say, oh, you better stop. I'm not stopping nothing. I'm just gonna keep going. Donta Swan, salute to you. Said I stopped watching when they got when Jay Cardinal left. Yeah, this mess here garbage. But like I said, AEW has clearly lost the battle. They end the war, and AEW has lost. And we see that the viewership, NXT got better quality, better sense of urgency, putting out a great program, and better show. I mean, look at the show. Look at it speaks for itself, guys. Look at the way stuff's set up. Look at the great match of Randy Orton. I know he's main roster. We see this Tony D'Angelo winning the North American title. They clearly are the better show. There's no other way around it. That's why this is the number one show, not Dynamite, because it is Dynamite. They need to take it off and get out of here. Yeah, so it's just terrible. It's the better program, clearly. Everybody sees that, except for the AEW fans, especially Ben. Okay, see, something's wrong with him. HPD, you got HPD, you will see best WWE HPD. NXT sucks, yeah. The AEW one sucks. Other than that, though, guys, that's all I have. I did a dual stream today. We also covered not just NXT versus AEW. It really started with, of course, NXT, the results of the show. We talked about Randy Orton versus Javon Evans tag team title match. We covered that. We covered the tag team of Cora Jade and Roxanne team up against Julia and Stephanie Walker. Then, of course, current news. And then now we're here. We're covering this, and we're talking about who won. Clearly, we see that now. It's definitely by a very large margin. But we see that AEW has lost the battle in the war. And we see that NXT is the better Tuesday night show. And that's why NXT is doing a thing on a brand new network. So salute to NXT, salute to the team, everything. And I guess you AEW fans gonna watch Wrestle Dream. Maybe Ben's gonna watch AEW Wrestle Dream because it is a dream. It ain't reality. That's exactly what it is. NXT, they won the viewership. It wasn't even close. I mean, it's nowhere near close to about, like I said, large margin. And they got it with flying colors. Thank you all for coming out, guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate all of it. The numbers don't lie, as you guys can see. I didn't make this stuff out from an article. And we got SmackDown Friday. No PLEs this week. Just that crappy Wrestle Dream garbage that's overpriced for $50. If you want to waste your money and spend $50 this weekend, watch AEW Wrestle Dream. I'm pretty sure you get your money's worth. Yeah. So you guys, we'll come back for SmackDown. You guys check out the 2 links below. That's all I have regarding the who won the Tuesday Night War. You guys check everything out. We'll cover more this week. Putting out videos more constantly. Check that out. Maybe go back to putting out some other content. Keep your eye out for that. Soon to be able to pop up. Click the content below. Thank you all for coming out tonight. The NXT fans and even the AEW fans. Despite how much I don't like how AEW is doing right now, I still appreciate you guys coming out and let me know how you feel about AEW or NXT. You guys already know what it is at this point. It is OUT.
Something happened this weekend, and I have been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and being involved.